Was good from both coaches. It stepped up another notch post-match.
The NRL has got to make a decision on whether they're going to allow coaches to deliberately manipulate referees and try and influence them. Coaches do it because they can. You know, we get fined afterwards, but pre-game, yeah, you can. It's pretty much open slather, I think. So our boys were certainly being spoken to on the run for stuff that we never get done for. So
the Panthers have planted this in the minds of the referees leading into it. Bennett tried to reply to it.
As I said, I was guilty of it myself because I had to, because we had to respond. But I think the game could do itself a favour and come down on any coach who wants to try and deliberately influence a match official before a game.
I sent some information to the referees for clarification. He was the one that's come out and started mouthing off. So just get that in his right perspective. So if he's critical of himself. But South Sydney had no say whatsoever until he came out and started to talk it all up.
Ivan even said that he thinks they shouldn't be able, coaches have too much influence to ring up and question every decision.
Well, they do it. We all do, and we should have that right. You can't take that away from us.
Oh, yes. The gift that just kept on giving. This is a journalist's dream, this sort of stuff, Michael. From the midweek comments to post-match, it has just been on for young and old between these two.
It has. And, look, maybe I'm biased, the journalistic hat here, but haven't we loved it? Like Wayne's right. We have loved it. And the ratings have shown as well with the weekend and the finals are up. Look, I think this is what we need. And Origin time sort of lacks that little hate when guys like Gow used to fire up and Anthony Watmo and Greg Bird. I know Ivan looks like he's got egg on his face at the moment, but for the good of rugby league, hats off to him for willing to come out and say what he did, but probably backfired on Ivan over the weekend.
Well, it certainly helped him promoting the game. There's no doubt about that, Gus. But I guess the recommendation, the suggestion from Ivan afterwards that perhaps if we're finding coaches for post-match comments that cross a line, should it be considered for pre-game? I don't think that's going to be happening.
Go placidly amongst the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence.
Gus, what would you recommend?
Sometimes it's not best
if you were sled the Panthers,
to poke the bear.
If you were sled the Panthers and you were playing against South Sydney, what would your recommendation be to Ivan?
No, don't bring that up. But sometimes look. I said it over the weekend. When you're playing Wayne Bennett, if you want to take him on these mind games, you've got to be really well prepared about who speaks last. All right, so Ivan spoke first and Bennett responded last. Ivan goes to the press conference first and Bennett responds last. You've got to outwait him. You've got to sit there till midnight and refuse to go to the press conference until he speaks so you can go in and respond to him. You can't give him last say because no matter what you say, he's going to do it to you. Go placidly amongst the noise and haste and remember what peace there may be in silence.
Can I just say this, Gus?
Eyes on the football. I just felt like, I just felt like pre-game, Bennett had his eyes on the football and Panthers had their eyes on Bennett. That's what I think was the problem.
Can I just say, though, with that penalty that the Panthers received for Kalamatangi's hit on Nathan Cleary, if they go on and score after that and win the game, Ivan looks like a genius because reality is they don't get that penalty. They don't get that penalty unless the story comes out midweek.
I said it on the night. I said, I actually hear it in the commentary. I said, well, they campaigned for that this week and this is the penalty that they wanted. All right, this is the result they wanted out of that. And they got it. And you don't tell me that referees don't read papers.
So would you be sitting here today saying Ivan got it wrong if they went on and won that
I'm not here saying Ivan got it wrong.
He got it horribly wrong.
No, I'm not saying he got it wrong. I'm not saying he got it horribly wrong. I'm just saying he got the timing wrong. Because when you're playing Bennett, you can't give him last say. You really can't. And what it did was, all it did was fire South Sydney up. And to be honest, Panthers, the way they played, it was kind of like they were waiting for fifth tackle anyway. They were just waiting to put the bomb up and wait for that kid to drop one. Well, he dropped the first one, but he didn't drop the next 22, so, he had a whale of a game. Look, it was all great theatre. It was all great theatre. Ivan got a result out of it, no doubt, because he got that penalty. There wasn't much in that. But it was just enough for Bennett to use it. It was just enough for him to twist it his way. It was just enough to, and I think it made a difference.
Do either of you have an issue with what he said during the week that he went to the NRL in confidence to raise a concern and it got back to Penrith? Now, however it is that there's accusations that maybe Josh Mansour was telling, he referred to a reliable source that they've been practicing these blocks Mansour, maybe it was the Hayden Knowles influence in Origin. Is there an issue with
This
coaches
has been going on. This has been
you know,
going on since Adam played. Honestly, you know, coaches getting to referees' bosses or referees during the week to get explanation of what's happened before. And you know, there were some old masters back in the day. You know, and they'd also whoever they're playing this week. So if they're playing the Panthers this week, look at what they've been doing in previous weeks, and you're letting them get away with this. Look what you're doing. Look what you're doing with this. You know, well, you've got to be pulling that up. And what Ivan said after the game was that a number of his players were chipped on the run during the play. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. So someone's worded them up. Someone's worded the referee up, which could have come out of the Bennett presentation to the referee, which he admits that he did 3 weeks ago. But they all do it. Everyone does it. If you're not doing it, you're not competitive.
Yeah, are you saying there's an issue with that? Because I've got no issue with that.
Well, getting back to Penrith, that Wayne Bennett had complained about the blockers at Souths.
Well, yeah, I suppose if you're going to the NRL as a coach, if Wayne's going to the NRL as a coach, then it should be confidential. I'd imagine they shouldn't be.
Never has been. Never has been.
But that's part of the next thing I was about to say. I don't think there's too much that goes in the NRL that's not leaked. And I don't think there's
Never
too
has
much.
been.
Yeah.
But
Never has been.
you said Wayne's the master, as if Wayne didn't know that was going to get back to Penrith somehow. Like you guys, all those years, every time September rolls around, Melbourne's wrestling tactics come up. Like this is all planned from coaches knowing that you know the outcome is going to assist them in winning a game of football. Isn't there a part of Wayne who knew how this would unfold?
1,000,000%.